First of all, Sean, you're very welcome to the Markets Field.
Thank you very much.
It's very rarely we get to sit out on the pitch and have a chat with people.
It's the very first time I was on the pitch, and I was here in 1959, and I saw Stoke City play in '64. Stanley Matthews. Wonderful experience.
Tell us a bit about that match.
Well, as far as I know, it was Vinnie Prendergast was in goals, although Kevin might kill me after that if I got that wrong. But when I was writing for the Limerick Leader in the 90s, Stoke City came here again, and I wrote about my wonderful experience of watching Stanley Matthews and the great Limerick team of the time playing. And the Leader published it, and I got a letter written by Stanley Matthews to thank me for remembering him in his old age. He died not long after.
Wonderful, great story.
Yeah, I love this story, yeah.
So Sean, a history of Limerick schoolboy soccer 1931 to 2000. It's a big tome.
It's a big tome. It's 956 pages long. It's 1,400 photographs. I've collected over 30,000 photographs, so I will be over time putting them up online. 99% of these pictures are named or captioned properly. Believe it or not, the latter end I only use referees' cards, so the names would not necessarily be in chronological order, you know, left to right. But other than that, every other photograph is perfect.
How did the whole concept for the book come about, Sean?
Well, it began with a discussion between myself, Jerry McCormick and Buddy Brennan on New Year's Day 2013, and by the middle of March of that year we had decided we'd do something. I had a lot of photographs. I covered schoolboy soccer myself for 25 years with the Limerick Leader, so I had a lot of photographs and had a lot of my pages. I had kept the pages, but there was still a huge amount of research to do. Buddy Brennan did 2 years alone about in Dublin, the National Library, to get Limerick Echo files, but there's none in Limerick. Well, there are, but they're not in great condition. But 2 years it took him to do them, and that was a huge task. And Buddy was retired at the time, so he took it on himself to do that.
How do you go about writing a history as big as this one,
Well,
Sean?
the first thing you do, you have to get your information, and we went to the Limerick County Library to start with, because it was a much quieter library and it was a relatively new library. And we scanned or printed out thousands of pages, but obviously year by year. And we put them into books year by year. And when all that was done, Jerry McCormick wrote from 1931 to 1949. Buddy wrote from 1950 to 1975, and Jerry then rewrote 76 to 80, and I did all the 90s, and I put it together.
Wow, an awful lot of work.
As I said, 5.5 years. The last 5 months would have been 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, just to get it finished.
So if and when people pick that up in the bookshops in O'Mahony's or wherever it will be on sale?
Unfortunately, it won't be in the shops, because it's costing almost 30,000, 25,000 just to print, and then we had, like going to Dublin, we had lots of other expenses. So the reality is we have to sell the 1,000 books we're printing at €30. that'll only cover our costs. Now we've got a few patrons for which we're extremely grateful. One patron, I don't know if he wants us to mention him, so I won't, gave us enough to start. Without the down payment for the printer could not have gone ahead.
That's wonderful, and it's wonderful to think that endeavour like this is supported.
It is, but we didn't ask too many now, as you said at the beginning, it's a labour of love, and there's a lot of effort, but enjoyable effort if you can understand what I'm saying.
Your own connection to schoolboy soccer, Sean, I'm sure goes back as far as you do. What are the outstanding moments for you over the years?
Well, I would have to confess the very first match I did was 1978-79 season, and Vereker Clements won the under-15 Evans Cup, which has never been achieved afterwards or before in Limerick. Many Limerick teams got to the final, but always beaten. Vereker won that with a great team, and that's the team there. So it's that would be the standout memory. I wasn't at the match; it was in Dublin, and I had only started. I didn't even realise the significance of the trophy, and I should have, because I was secretary of Hydro Rovers when they got to 2 finals. But as a fledgling kind of soccer correspondent, I was kind of nervous, and
And I suppose they were halcyonic days for Limerick soccer, and indeed for Limerick sport.
The same team won the following year, won the inaugural Johnny Giles under-17 Cup. Well, much the same team, 1 or 2 changes.
That Evans Cup team, Vereker Clements, who would be some of the names that we would have recognised from that?
Well, Joe Hanrahan would be one of the easiest recognisable names, and Peter Coyle, Declan Hyde, Nigel O'Dea, Mike Fenton, Richard Power. There was a French boy by the name of Frank Raymond playing, and David Hanrahan, of course, the 2 Hanrahans, they all played.
And of course they had a long family history in soccer with Brian,
yeah. But of course brother Nick, who's still alive and still around, he's going to the book launch, I believe, on Friday night. He's still in the Redemptors, but only back in Limerick for the last 4 or 5 years, I think.
So Sean, tell us about the launch.
Well, the launch is in Janesborough Soccer Club. It's the biggest soccer club around, the biggest hall, I wanted to keep it within a soccer club. I could have gone to a hotel, but I wanted to keep it within the soccer fraternity. It's 7:30 Friday night. Leonard Burke, former soccer correspondent at 95 FM, is launching the book. We expect quite a number there,
So if somebody can't make it on Friday night, Sean, and they want a copy of the book, how do they go about it?
They can get it from me in Linwood Park, or they can get it from Limerick Sports Store, who are selling the book. And Fine Wines have offered to put it in their outlets.